Hello friends, welcome to this video session of Introduction to Heat Transfer. My name is Mr. S. V. Kumbar, Assistant Professor, Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering, Yedrao, Ichalkaranchi. Today we are going to see Introduction to Heat Transfer, and these are the contents: Introduction to Heat and Heat Transfer, modes of heat transfer, that is conduction, convection, radiation, and summary. So, before going to start actual content, we will take one example. A hot coffee of 70 degree is placed in a cup in a cold environment of 20 degree. What will happen in this case? Do you have any idea? Why heat flows from a warmer place to cooler place? Why hot objects in a cooler room will cool to room temperature? Why cold objects in a warmer room will heat up to room temperature? Do you have answers of this question? We will find answers of this question in this video session. So, before going to start actual heat transfer content, we will see the definition of heat. What is heat? So, heat is the energy transferred across boundary of a system due to temperature difference between system and surrounding, that is known as heat. And heat transfer is the process of transfer of heat from high temperature reservoir to low temperature sink. Example is internal combustion engine, boiler, steam turbine. Here heat transfer takes place and the energy transferred across boundary of a system because of temperature difference is known as heat. Best example is internal combustion engine. In internal combustion engine, after combustion of fuel, there is a temperature difference between system and surrounding. That is why heat flows from engine to atmosphere. Another few example we will see. Another example is nuclear power plant. In nuclear power plant, a neutron is bombarded on the nucleus of radioactive element. So, here tremendous amount of heat is generated which is utilized to convert water into steam, and that steam is driven through turbine where electricity is produced. Here also the phenomenon of heat transfer takes place. Second example is a heat exchanger. Heat exchanger is a device in which heat transfer takes place between two fluids, and hotter fluid gets colder and colder fluid gets hotter. Again here the phenomenon of heat transfer is observed. Why we need heat transfer subject? Best example is thermos flask. You might have used thermos flask at your home also. In thermos flask, if you keep cold fluid or hot fluid, it will remain cold or hot for almost a day. Why does it happen? Because of insulation. When hot coffee is placed in thermos bottle, what will happen? Heat will not transfer from hot coffee to surrounding and from surrounding to hot coffee because of insulation. So, a thermodynamic simply tells us how much amount of heat transfer from one equilibrium state to another equilibrium state. In introductory video lectures also we have seen thermodynamic equilibrium. If two bodies at the same temperature are in contact, there is no net heat from one body to another body. If two bodies are kept with each other which are having same temperature, heat will not flow from one body to cold body, and that condition is known as thermal equilibrium, and generally heat is measured in joules. So, this is the one of the example domestic cooking. If you want to cook, three modes of that is conduction, convection, radiation. All the modes of heat transfers are observed. Second example, cooling of electronic component. You are using mobile phones, you are using PCs, laptops, then charger. So, here cooling of electronic components, again it is based on phenomenon of heat transfer. Again cooling of LED lights, LED lamps, it is based on heat transfer. As we have discussed this phenomenon, IC engine, in internal combustion engine, its cooling is done by phenomenon of heat transfer. Another important application of heat transfer is space shuttle. Again, in space shuttle, heat transfer phenomenon is observed. Few more example: human body, the temperature of human body is controlled by the phenomenon of heat transfer. Second example is air conditioning system. In air conditioning system, hot air becomes colder one with the help of air conditioning system. Car radiator, as we have already discussed, here water is circulated over the wall of engine which becomes warmer, and that warm water is again cooled back with the help of car radiator. Power plants, we have already seen nuclear power plant, thermal power plant. In boiler, water is heated, again the phenomenon of heat transfer is observed. Refrigeration and air conditioning, in refrigerator also the heat is carried away by refrigerant to cool down any object which is placed. So, what is the conclusion of this? Heat transfer plays a major role in the design of many devices such as radiator, solar collectors, various components of power plant, and even in spacecraft also. So, we will see mode of heat transfer. I would like to say heat can travel through medium as well as through vacuum. This is the basic idea related to heat. Heat can travel through a medium as well as through vacuum. So, there are three modes of heat transfer: conduction, convection, radiation. We will see all these modes of heat transfer one by one. So, first, conduction. What is conduction? How are the particles arranged in solid, liquid and gas? Do you have any idea about this? What is the particle arrangement or molecular arrangement inside solid, liquid and gases? So, this is the molecular structure of solid. Here molecules are closely bound together. In case of liquids, so molecules are rarely packed. In case of gases, molecules are again rarely packed. So, what is your conclusion here? In case of solids, molecules are closely packed. On the other hand, in case of gases, molecules are rarely packed. So, conduction is the transfer of energy from energetic particles of a substance to adjacent less energetic one as a result of interaction between particles. It can be understood from the Fourier law of conduction. We will see that Fourier law of conduction later on. Why are metals good thermal conductors? Do you know? This is the molecular structure of metal. If one end of metal is heated, what will happen to other end? Yes, if one end of metal is heated at one end, its another end gets also heated. So, in metals, heat is transferred from one end to another end by the phenomenon of conduction. So, conduction mainly occurs by two methods: first, lattice vibration, and second, the transfer of free electrons. There are delocalized electrons in metal. So, that electron carries that energy from one end to another end. Also, there are some molecules which are in contact with each other. If you supply heat energy, that molecule will try to vibrate with respect to its mean position, and that is why one molecule transfers heat energy to other molecule, and in this way heat is transferred from one end to another end. When heated, these free electrons gain kinetic energy and move from hotter end to colder end, carrying energy with them. So, this process is much faster than conduction by the vibration of the molecule. Conduction, as we have discussed already, conduction is the process by which heat is transmitted through a medium from one particle to another particle by two ways, either by lattice vibration either by free electron, transfer of free electron. The same example is shown. A metal rod is heated at its one end. So, at first what will happen? The metal particles in the flame gain energy and start to vibrate more rigorously. After that what will happen? The next particles are pushed and pulled about their vigorously vibrating neighbors, so that they start vibrate faster also. And at last, eventually the particles at the end of rod are made to vibrate rigorously. The end of rod also gets heated. Fourier law of heat conduction. In 1822, Fourier postulated that the rate of heat transfer is proportional to temperature gradient present in a solid. Let us take one example. A solid having thickness dx is kept and it is supplied heat at other end. What will happen? Heat will transfer from A phase towards its B phase, which is situated at right hand. So, Fourier's law of heat conduction, the rate of heat through a simple homogeneous solid is directly proportional to area section normal to direction of heat flow and with the change of temperature with respect to length of path of heat flow. In mathematical form, we can write Q conduction is equal to minus K A dt upon dx. Negative sign indicates that heat transfer, the rate of heat transfer decreases in the direction. K is thermal conductivity. So, rate of heat flow is equal to thermal conductivity into cross sectional area into temperature difference between those two phases and length. What is thermal conductivity? Generally, in conduction, heat transfer depends on thermal conductivity of any material. So, thermal conductivity is the amount of heat energy conducted through a body of unit area and unit thickness in unit time when the difference in temperature between those phases causing heat transfer is unit temperature difference. So, this table gives the brief idea related to thermal conductivity. More thermal conductivity means more heat transferred by that material, less thermal conductivity means it is a insulator. So, here pure silver have 418 watt per meter Kelvin as thermal conductivity. Similarly, copper 388. If you observe fiberglass or air, it is a 0.040 or 0.0025. What does it mean? Fiberglass will act as insulator. So, factors affecting thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity in material depends on the following factor. So, first the temperature difference between the ends of the conductor, second the length of the conductor, and third the cross sectional area of the conductor, fourth the nature of the material. Thermal conductivity in solid. If you stir hot tea using a metal spoon, you will observe that the handle of spoon becomes warm. Why does it happen? Do you have any answer? Yes. Solids that are good conductors of heat use both atom vibration and free electrons to conduct heat. In solid, both phenomenons are observed, that is lattice vibration and transfer of free electrons. That is why when you stir hot tea using a metal spoon, you will observe that the handle of spoon will also become warmer. While liquids are poor conductors of heat, this is because there are large intermolecular distances between liquid molecules. There are also fewer and rare collision between the molecules. For example, electrolytes, that is solution of salt, that are better conductors of heat than pure liquids because of increased compactness of the particles. What is about thermal conductivity in gas? Gases are worst conductor of heat because of large intermolecular distance. As we have already seen, the molecular structure for liquids, solids and gaseous. In gaseous, as molecules are rarely packed, so those molecules will not collide. That is why thermal conductivity of gases is less. What is a convection? What happens to the particle in liquid or gas when you heat them? Have you observed while preparation of tea? What happens if you supply heat energy to water? If you supply heat energy to water, what will happen? Here the particle spreads out and becomes less dense. This happens to air also. Why air flows from one place to another place? The same phenomenon. The particles spread out and becomes less dense. This is all about convection heat transfer. So, convection is the mode of heat transfer between solid surface and the adjacent liquid or gas that is in contact, and it involves the combined effect of conduction and fluid motion. The faster the fluid motion, the greater the convection heat transfer. Convection is the process by which heat is transmitted from one place to another by the movement of heated particle of a gas or liquid. It means that there is an actual movement of molecule from one place to another place when heat is supplied at one end. It will not happen in conduction. In conduction, only molecules carry heat energy and it is transferred to another adjacent molecule, but in convection actual molecular movement is observed. Here the best example is fire camp. In fire camp what happens? Here the molecules of air carries heat energy and that molecule of air reaches to us. That is why we feel warmer. Exact definition of convection. Convection is the process by which heat is transferred through fluids, that is liquids and gases, with actual movement of molecules. So, when a liquid is heated, it expands and this lowers its density. The less dense liquid rises and its place is taken by more dense colder liquid. This movement of liquid forms a convection current. For example, air. When air is heated, it becomes light, it goes up, it is replaced by new cold air. Again it is heated, it goes up. This is known as convection current. When convection currents are set up much faster in gases than in liquids because of the extremely low cohesive forces exist between the molecules of the gases. Types of convection. There are two types of convection: natural convection and forced convection. In natural convection, here whenever heat flows between a solid and fluid or between fluid layers, there is no use of any mechanical means. For example, blower or fan, air automatically flows by the density difference. As a result of heat exchange, the change in density of effective fluid layers takes place, which causes upward flow of heated fluid. If this motion is associated with heat transfer mechanism only, then it is known as natural convection. And what is forced convection? Here a mechanical means is used, for example, pump, fan or blower. Mixing of hot and cold parts of the fluid through some external stirring like fan or pump, here it is known as forced convection. If this motion is associated by means of mechanical means, that is pumps, gravity or movement of fluid, this is known as forced convection. Here this picture gives free convection. During the day, the sun heats the land much faster than sea. The air above the land is heated and expands and rises. Cold air from the sea moves inland to take its place. Hence, sea breezes is obtained. But at the night, what happens? Land loses heat faster than sea. Hot air above the sea, which is less dense, expands and rises. Cold air from the land moves towards sea, convection current is formed and land breeze is obtained. Radiation, which is very important concept. Heat transfer through vacuum is called as thermal radiation. All bodies absorbs and emit radiation. One example is shown here. When a bulb is radiating energy to any material, that there is a phenomenon of radiation. Means what? Bulb emits radiation, that radiation is absorbed by material. An electric bulb in a room produces both light and radiant heat. This radiant energy is absorbed by materials in the room, which in turn give out radiant heat of lower energy. So, radiation is a method of heat transfer that does not require any medium. For example, we receive solar radiation from sun, but it does not require any medium. It can take place in vacuum, as we have already discussed. In radiation, heat transfer takes place in the form of waves. The heat energy from the sun is radiated to us. How does the heat travel through space? The earth is warmed by heat energy from the sun. How does this heat energy travel from the sun to earth? Do you have any idea? So, this is the sun which radiates energy continuously, and we receive that radiation continuously in the form of infrared waves. So, there are no particles between sun and earth. So, the heat cannot travel by conduction or by convection. The heat travels to earth by infrared waves. These are similar to light waves and are able to travel through empty space. So, here this picture clears everything. So, I would like to show one scenario in which there is a fire, and in order to resolve that fire, one well is provided there. One man, that is at one, which is using pump. With the help of pump, water is pumped and directly it is forcing towards fire. Second example, in second example, there is a queue of men in which every man is having a bucket, with the help of which that bucket water will be splashed with the help of bucket. And third one, that man is moving towards that fire with the help of water. So, can you guess what I am going to tell you? The modes of heat transfer. How? First, man which is just forcing the water to fire, that phenomenon can be considered as radiation, because that man is directly forcing the water towards fire. It does not require any medium. Second, conduction. Here, one man transfers that bucket of water to other man, and in this way the final man is going to splash water on the fire. But in the third case, convection, there is an actual movement of man towards fire. So, here water may be treated as heat and people may be heat transfer medium. This is the best example which I ever seen. Emission experiments. So, here there is one body, the shiny metal container would be the warmer after 10 minutes because its shine surface reflects heat radiation back into the container, so less is lost. The dull black container would be the coolest because it is the best at emitting heat radiation. We will see this experiment once again in radiation chapter separately. So, there are few questions related to radiation. Why are houses painted white in hot countries? Because white color reflects heat radiation and it keeps house cooler. Second question, why are shiny foil blankets wrapped around marathon runners at the end of race? Because the shiny metal reflects the heat radiation from the runner back This stops the runner getting cold. Thermal contact resistance. When two bodies are kept in contact with each other, then as we have already studied, heat will flow from hot reservoir to low temperature sink. But at microscopic level, if you observe second figure, there is a gap between two bodies, because of which one resistance occurred, that is known as thermal contact resistance. We will see this concept once again in the next lecture. Temperature distribution and heat flow lines along the two solid plates pressed against each other for the case of perfect and imperfect contact. So, if there is imperfect contact, always thermal contact resistance exists. So, summary, what we have learned: heat is a form of energy which flows as a result of temperature difference between two regions. There are three modes of heat transfer, namely conduction, convection and radiation. In conduction and convection, a material is required, while in radiation, heat travels through a vacuum. Thermal conductivity depends on temperature difference. The greater the temperature difference, the higher the rate of conduction. Cross sectional area: thicker the materials conduct heat faster than once. Thank you very much.